Hi, I'm Paul from pdhsports.com, leading online racket specialist, and today I've got a very special review coming up. So I'm joined here by the legend James Wilstrop. James is a former world #1, 3 times Commonwealth Games gold medalist, list goes on. Once played for Duffield, where we are in the National League. I know that's like one of your highlights.
Oh, yes.
You might have even played below me at one point, years and years ago.
Yeah.
But I am a bit older than you. But well, we're here today to talk about the unsquashable James Wilstrop Signature Series racket. So James, this is a racket you've been using for a while now. We have been successfully selling it at PDH Sports, and I'm going to use this opportunity for you to help us with this review. Tell us a little bit about the racket. So first of all, it's a 120 gram frame weight racket with a head-like balance. Now you've been very particular in terms of the balance. Do you want to tell us a little bit about why that is?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've been told that I'm particular. I didn't know about that, but I'm. I think what we mean there is that I was quite keen on the headlight aspect of it. For me, I've got quite long arms, long levers. I like to attack in front of the court, as like you, Paul, in your heyday, and I think, to get quick racket head speed, I needed that sort of lightness in the head, so I was particular about that. And so Paul and everyone, Unsquashable, worked very hard to try and get that right. And I love this because I can just get the speed through the shots when I need to. And I think in particular for someone tall, I can't spend loads of time getting the arm through the shot. I need as much help with that as I can. People with shorter arms can probably generate that power quicker. So that's the main aspect for this with this racket. I've loved that.
Because off camera we were having a little bit of a discussion about the different head shapes. So you've got like the classic head shape and then the teardrop. And it's worth you just explaining to the viewers that for you, that's not been as much of a priority. It's been much more about the balance of the racket.
Yeah, I don't think that was really part of my thoughts. I would get the rackets, work with Paul. He would send me them. I'd hit with them, and I'm not really thinking too much about the shape, to be honest. And I think maybe that helps that I've played with lots of different shapes in my life. So that wasn't really so much of an issue. But I mean, I've got very comfortable with this shape now. I've played with this for 7 or 8 years, I think now. So I love the shape, but it's not like a main factor that determines why I use it, I don't think. No.
So that's it. It's interesting because there's a bit of controversy, a bit of like, the classic head shape will give you more control and all this. But I mean, I think personally, from my experience now, I think back in the day I used a much smaller head, thinking that I'm getting more control, but I'm a lot more comfortable now with the feeling of a slightly larger head, and I don't, I still get the accuracy that I used to think I would only get from a classic.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I think, for people worried about that, I mean, I feel like my game is based around control. I have to be because I'm not a natural athlete or whatever. So, there's no question that I felt I had maximum control out of this racket. I just don't think people need to find what they're comfortable with. And if you're comfortable with a certain shape, don't let that stop you. I would be my advice. Using what you feel is right for you.
Right. So James, we'll just delve a little bit more into the spec of this racket. So we've got 500 square centimetre head size. The string. So I've found, like, when I've played with this racket, it's good to go straight from. It's not something you would need to restring. Do you? The ones that obviously you're given them from Unsquashable. Do you have a particular tension? Do you, what happens to your strings when you get your rackets?
Yeah, this is where I think I'm not that particularly difficult to work with in this sense, because I'm not like one of those people who cuts the strings out straight away and goes to the stringer and has it absolutely spot on at a certain tension. And I love the factory string, and I will always keep that in. I'm not saying that. That's what I do, and it'll last me a long time as well. The feel of the string is great, so I stick with it. I mean, I know I'm maybe not playing at the top of the world like I was, but I think it would be the same. I love it. It feels good. So I mean, that's kind of
Yeah, I mean,
quite a
I
positive
agree.
thing for people, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. I would certainly say when I've used a racket, then, and I was more fussy. I would like put particular strings in, but I've been able to just go straight off, comfortable with the string. I think it plays well. It gives me everything I need, and I haven't had to touch it. So the other thing, you know, it's quite an aerodynamic racket. Again, that really probably suits you, like I say, the headlight and the speed around the court, taking the ball in short and fast on the volleys.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it's the main thing, you know, the racket head speed is crucial. And it's getting more crucial, so as players get quicker, the game gets faster. I just can't see a world where I could, you know, use a big club of a racket.
So my final thing really today, so obviously you're the highest level, would you say, but you're obviously doing a bit of coaching now as well, what kind of level player would be able to use this racket?
I mean, I think obviously any player, it's definitely tried and tested at the top of the world. I've done that, and there are players doing it. It's been fantastic for me playing at that very highest level. I don't know. I mean, maybe there are players playing at lower levels who might find that certainly, maybe to start off with, they might want some more weight in the racket, but I don't see why they would. And I think this is a good situation for all levels of squash player. You know, it's a matter of choice a little bit, but this is fine for anyone.
Yeah, so interestingly, we are going to do a review on the Hero racket, which is a little bit heavier, so we'll put a link down there.
Perfect.
And we'll cover that on there. But so yeah, anyway, thank you, James. Really appreciate you coming today. Thanks for the hit.
Pleasure.
And hopefully giving our customers some important information about this fantastic squash racket. And of course, this is available at pdhsports.com.